This video is brought to you by my two books, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and The Blues Guitar Bible. Want to learn about modes, harmony, scales, chord substitution and keys? Or maybe you're interested in supercharging your blues guitar rhythm and lead chops. Whatever you're interested in, I guarantee you will be hitting the fast lane to progress with either of these works. Both feature video demonstrations and tutorials, loads of tabs and jam tracks to play along with, and I promise you, everything is explained in crystal clear plain English. Check out the links in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Top 5 Tuesday today, and before we get into the meat of the video, I just want to say a massive shout out to one of my favourite YouTube channels, Sea of Tranquility. This entire Top 5 Tuesday format is essentially borrowed from what the core of their channel is all about, where they're just talking, Pete Pardo, who's the main host there, and his other various contributors. They just basically do videos where they're talking about their favourite albums or songs or, you know, kind of whatever in any given category. And yeah, if you're not familiar with their channel, I'll stick a link to their stuff down below, so go and check them out. And recently I was watching one of their videos where they were talking about their 5 favourite radio hits and least favourite as well, but we'll come on to that later. What I mean by my 5 favourite radio songs, or top 5 radio songs, are songs that whenever the radio comes on, and I listen to the radio quite a bit in here, I'm usually kind of editing video on that machine, and I'll have, like, you know, Gold or Magic or something on, you know, golden oldie stations, boomer stations, if you will. And there are certain songs that when they come on, you just think, oh yeah, just inch the volume up a little bit there. And, you know, the strange thing is that you don't own any material by that particular band or artist, but you like that one hit. And, you know, maybe you've heard other things that they've done and not been that impressed. Maybe you've never heard anything else by them. It's just this one hit, maybe one hit wonder of some description. There's one of these on the list. But, you know, songs that make you just inch the volume up on the radio despite the fact that you don't own anything by that particular band or artist. These are my choices, starting with
Real Gone Kid by Deacon Blue.
Yes, Deacon Blue, obviously a band named after a Steely Dan song, and this song, Real Gone Kid, apparently I didn't find this out until many years after the fact. I think this was 1987 or 88 that this was like a massive hit in the UK. It's a song that's actually about a female singer called Maria McKee, who I have a lot of time for. She used to be the vocalist in a band called Lone Justice. If you're not aware of them, well worth checking out. And then she had like a bit of a solo career. I don't know what she's doing nowadays, but she had that massive hit from that Tom Cruise movie, Days of Thunder, you know, Show Me Heaven. What an incredible voice on it. And, you know, obviously Ricky Ross and the chaps in Deacon Blue obviously thought the same and wrote this song Real Gone Kid about it. Absolutely, I love this song. It's so happy and infectious, and just those woo 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 backing vocals that go on there. If you're not familiar with the song, I can't believe you're not, but if you're not, then there's links to all of these down below. I think it's just a great, perfectly crafted radio pop song, and if I'm talking about my favourite radio songs, had to be on the list. Next,
Love Changes Everything by Climby Fisher.
Yeah, a power pop duo from the 80s, Climby Fisher. I think it was Simon Climby and was it Rob Fisher? And I think both of them, well, I know that Simon Climby was a jobbing session singer and also, you know, something of a songwriter, that's the word I'm looking for, who'd had hits recorded by the great and the good. Some names escape me at the moment, but you know, he had like some of his songs published and recorded by big international artists. And he offered this song to Rod Stewart, and Rod turned it down. So that's when you listen to the song, you can hear Simon is doing something of a, I wouldn't say a Rod Stewart impersonation, but, you know, it does make you think, oh yeah, that sounds a little bit like Rod. And again, the 1980s were a time of, I think, you know, just brilliantly crafted, well-produced pop songs. You know, interesting chord changes. That Deacon Blues song that I've just been talking about there, you know, there's a couple of nice augmented chords sneaking in there. Well, you just don't get that. I mean, Ed Sheeran doesn't know what an augmented chord even sounds like, let alone how to play it or use one in a song. I just think there was it was mainstream to have a little bit more sophistication and, you know, kind of interest in interesting things going on in songs back in the day. And this song, again, it sounds a bit cheesy and overproduced and like those kind of big gated reverb, Phil Collins-y kind of snare drum sounds like, but it was the 80s, you know, and that sort of style went out of favour a little bit. But I think it's far enough in the past now that we can look at it with a bit of affection and think that sounds retro and cool. I certainly do. I mean, that kind of production never went out of favour with me. It's just a catchy little pop song, well written, well crafted, well performed, and well produced. And yeah, I always turn the volume up on the radio when this one comes on. Next.
Good Enough by Dodgy.
Now, I'll be honest, I made a mistake when I first heard this song. I immediately, when I first heard it, comes in with like a sort of Rhodes electric piano kind of thing, and the production is very, very 70s. It doesn't sound... when was this out? 96, I think this one was. And when I first heard it, I thought, is that some old Squeeze tune that I've never heard before? I was honestly convinced I was listening to, you know, Chris Difford and Glenn Tilbrook. And yeah, again, perfect radio pop song, well written, nice chord changes, great catchy melody, just, you know, and the production is, you know, well, it sounds like something recorded in the 70s, which is why I initially thought it was an old Squeeze tune. But yeah, just were these band a one-hit wonder? This band a one-hit wonder? Kind of, I think they were a little bit. They didn't really do much other than having this one big hit. They were sort of lumped in at the time with all of the Brit rock, Brit pop kind of stuff. Oasis, Blur, The Verve, Pulp, all of those kind of bands. But I think they stand apart from that. As I say, it just sounded like... they sounded like Squeeze, which is no bad thing in my opinion. And again, if you're not, I'm not sure how big a hit this one was outside the UK. So you know, if you are of the international brethren, then certainly go and check this one out. It's a great song. Next,
Bette Davis, Eyes by Kim Carnes.
Yes, memories of my school days with this one, Bette Davis Eyes. This one definitely was a one-hit wonder. If it wasn't, then please name, you know, any of Kim Carnes' other hits. I think this was pretty much one and done for her, but what a song. And again, it does have that sort of heavily synthesizer-y kind of 80s sheen to it, but it's done well. And you know, this is one of those songs you hear it once and you're humming it the rest of the day. Not in a bad way, though. Some songs kind of do that to you and you just think, how can I get this damned thing out of my head? But not this one. Again, just a well-written, well-crafted, well-produced, well-performed, perfect radio song. And yeah, this is one that always gets me reaching for the volume control in a good way. Next. China in Your Hand by T'Pau. Yes, I had this album, well, I had a loan of this album back in the day, T'Pau, Bridge of Spies, and didn't really rate any of the other tracks on there, if I'm honest. You know, just, I think this was, if my memory serves me correctly, from like 40 years ago nearly. I think this was 87, wasn't it? So nearly 40 years. I think this was the final track on side one of the vinyl. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone else has got the album out there and can either verify or correct me on that. Just a schmaltzy 80s power ballad, but, not a power ballad in the sense of shooby-dooby-doo, I love you kind of lyrics. There's something a little bit enigmatic about the lyrics in this. It was a dream she had of a scheme he had, born in a foreign land or something like that. And you think, well, yeah, what's going on here? And just great 80s production. Again, the big reverby drum sounds and the big, chorusy guitars and strings on. There's it's obviously a synth on here that's doing this, but there's a lovely sort of pizzicato violin sound on there, which kind of plays a motif throughout, and an absolutely belting sax solo. And why isn't Carol Decker regarded as one of the top female rock singers? Because what a set of pipes she has on it. As I say, not really a massive fan of the rest of T'Pau's output, but this one song here I think is an absolute classic. And again, always reaching for the volume knob on the radio or the volume slider on the computer, because that's how we listen to radio these days, whenever this one comes on. Again, if you're not familiar with it, link in the description. But there you go. Those are my 5 favourite radio hits by bands or artists that I don't own any material of. I'm sure you possibly have a similar list of your own, and you know where to leave that down in the comments. Let me know what you think of my choices. Do you think I'm barking mad, enjoying some of these choices, or maybe I've reminded you of a song that you haven't heard in many a year and you're going to go and check it out? Let me know, as I say, down in the comments. But that is the video for today, folks. Hope you found it relatively entertaining, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. Why not drop me a like as well while you're at it? And don't forget, of course, the live stream every Friday 5 PM UK time. Beer and chat on a Friday. Doesn't get any more complicated than that. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.